Hey, so welcome everyone. Welcome to many of our new members and new people in the group. I'm so happy that you could join us. So today is kind of a mini master class. Mini class? I don't know what to call it. I didn't know what to call it. That's why I didn't call it anything other than digital nutrition mixture. So that's what we're going to discuss. This is just my approach to how I use it. These calls are very interactive and group oriented. So please, if you have a way that you interact with this and you use this, then please share that with the group as well. This is just how I incorporate it, and this is the easiest way for me. And so I wanted to share it because I did have some people had asked questions about digital nutrition. Also, this goes hand in hand with our quantum shamanic detox that we're running right now, Chad and I. And this week was all about healing the gut and strengthening digestive fortitude. And so I felt like this was a nice little segue into how we support ourselves nutritionally, bioenergetically, and help absorb our nutrients better, which will fundamentally help heal our gut or increase our health if that's our goal. So just a quick background on supplements. So most supplements are actually, we're not really sure how effective they are. It's kind of hard to test for that other than if you do regular blood tests. It's also, at least in the US and Canada and most places probably in developed worlds, not heavily regulated, or it's not tightly regulated. And so even in the States, where the FDA is really rigid about pharmaceuticals, they don't really do any testing with this. And so they don't determine, other than once it hits the market, they're pretty strict about what claims are made. But before getting on the market, they really don't do any testing on safety or efficacy or any of those things. So all that to say that there is a lot of variability of supplements on the market in terms of quality, and also our ability, what I call absorbability. So the ability for our body to use these supplements. And so I know in the past, I used to own a gym for 10 years and we sold lots of supplements at our gym. I've taken tons of supplements over the years, and I really couldn't speak to whether it really helped me that much. Of course, I find my preference is always my nutrients coming from food and herbs and more of the natural remedies, like the ones that have a lot of testing, homeopathics, Bach flowers. Those are kind of the ones that I really love. I just stopped taking supplements altogether since I've started incorporating the digital nutrition mixtures, because I just vibe the frequencies instead of taking a supplement for 3 months and seeing if it helps me. Rather, I'm doing an analysis and really understanding what my body needs and then vibrating that, or using the microcurrents and getting the nutrients that way. And of course, there's many variables included in this, but using the Healy has increased my health tremendously. And I feel way more vital in my 40s than I ever did in my 30s when I took a ton of supplements. And so also with supplements, it really depends on, in terms of our ability to absorb these nutrients and to assimilate them and to metabolize them, it really depends on the sort of state of our digestive system, right? i.e. our gut health. And so if somebody has gut dysbiosis, if they have leaky gut, or they have chronic issues, if you're under chronic stress, that will impact our ability to absorb these nutrients. And so a reasonable estimate, I did some research on this, some say as low as 10% is actually bioavailable for the body. Others were a little bit higher, but I felt like a reasonable estimate, and this is what I've heard and through my trainings over the years, that we can expect that we absorb about 30 to 40% of the nutrients that we take in supplement form. So just to speak a little bit about bioavailability, this is the degree and the rate at which we can absorb, a compound is absorbed into our body and made available for the biological site or wherever we're wanting this to work. Some vitamins work in different places. Most of it, especially as we take it, is absorbed in our intestines, our small intestines specifically, and then it's sent to different parts of the body wherever it's needed. But this absorption depends on a number of factors, which, as I spoke to earlier, is our gut health, the supplement formulation, so what is in it, if we're on any medications that can impact that, and really what we're eating and drinking. So I think on the next slide, I talk about other factors. Yeah, so there's gender, there's age, there's our body composition, our health status, our life stage, our own kind of nutrient stores. So vitamin C is a perfect example. Is if you, and lots of vitamins, if you take too much and your body doesn't need it, we just end up eliminating it. So it really depends on how much we need that nutrient and the availability for our body. Also cooking and processing, so how the nutrients or the supplements are processed, the chemical form that it's delivered in really makes a big difference. And then there's also things that inhibit the bioavailability. I think I talk about this on the next slide in particular. So there are inhibitors, like certain foods can inhibit the supplement what we take, but there's also things that they put in the supplement themselves that inhibit the ability to absorb it. And then we have also enhancers. So these are things like, if you take vitamin C, they say take iron with it, because the two together, they join and they make it more bioavailable for each other. So there are enhancers as well. So other factors, as I mentioned, in terms of gut health, is our microbiome balance or imbalance, as it were. So if we have a lot of what we call bad bacteria, they can actually take the nutrients. Same with gut pathogens. Parasites, they're infamous for stealing nutrients from your food and your supplements. And they will take it and they will use it for their own energy. And therefore, you're not getting any of the benefits of the supplements. Certain medications can impact the availability for our body. And then, as I had addressed in the previous slide, in terms of inhibitors, some vitamins now, because people are a little bit more cautious about sugar intake, some supplements, because they're not regulated, they'll add in like fake sugars or artificial sweeteners. And what that actually does is it can block the vitamins from being absorbed into our bloodstream. And so then we can't use any of that, or it lowers the availability for our body to use those nutrients. So the reality of the supplementation is we take these in hopes that they will help and exert a positive physiological effect, but we don't really know. And so it's only useful to take these if we are actually able to get it into our cells and use them to improve our health. And so it's really difficult, as I said, to know how effective these are. And really the only way to do it testing, or to really know, is to do regular blood testing, which seems a bit cumbersome. So in terms of, this is the topic for today, there's a new revolutionary idea of using frequencies as a form of improving the bioavailability, improving nutrient distribution through our body. And so we are a constantly evolving organism. Every single second, we have 800,000 cells being reorganized in our body, whether that's repaired or generated. And all of this happens through our DNA. And the DNA holds the coding or the information for the cells. It tells them, you should become this cell, you should become that cell. But actually only 3% of that is actually determined. So 3% of our cells, or the genetic code rather, is telling us you should become a skin cell, you should become a muscle cell. And 97% of it is actually adaptive. And this came from something that I watched from Ken Close. He talks about this a lot in terms of our DNA. And so we can use this 97% to our advantage, right? We can hone in on this adaptability that we have in our body and use it to provide information, in this case, via frequencies, to actually guide cell expression. So we can select the digital nutrition that we need for our body in that moment, and we can use the analysis to determine which ones we actually need. So it's a pretty amazing concept in terms of using digital nutrition in this way and using frequencies. I mean, all of us use and love our frequencies, and we use it for a lot of different ways, but I feel like the digital nutrition is probably underutilized. I don't know, that's just my personal opinion. But what I've heard as well in other trainings with and talks that Marcus has given, and he says that when we use the digital nutrition in this way, it's actually 100% bioavailable for our body, because it's going into our information field, which, we're still learning about and understanding. And so I would say that this is kind of still at the cusp of what we really know about it, but pretty amazing when we think about what it can offer us in terms of health and wellness. So the digital nutrition mixtures, there are 72 programs. They come in 6 different program groups, I guess. And what they contain is specific resonance frequencies. So these have nutrients. So there's vitamins, there's minerals, there's amino acids, there's fatty acids, there's neurotransmitters, there's all sorts of building blocks. And that's basically what these are, is the building blocks for our cells and for our body. And so they're designed to bioenergetically support you in improved absorption of nutrients from your food. So this is not meant to replace your food. Obviously, you still need to maintain good nutrition, but what it can do is it can offer improved absorption, so that the food that we do eat, we can absorb it even better. And then we can also use the frequencies and of the nutrients that maybe our body is lacking. So we're energetically imprinting our body through the bioenergetic field, through our information field, so that we can help heal our body, or we can help heal our body, we can help grow, we can help repair, and really optimize is how I see it. So they're providing the building blocks for cells and our body through the information field, which is mind-blowing in my opinion. So we can support ourselves in incredible ways through these programs. I said this? So as I said, it doesn't replace eating or nutrition, but rather increasing our body's uptake. And so like a lot of the frequencies, Gold Cycle works this way too. It's really working at that cellular level in our genetic code. There's a program in bioenergetic vitalization called epigenetic harmonization. And I see the digital nutrition mixtures in a similar way. Like we're really able to affect our cells and our DNA and really optimize it and harmonize it. And so in my personal opinion, we can use nutrition and the digital nutrition mixtures combined in lieu of using any of the supplements instead. So there's a lot of different supplements in each of these, but basically each one. So this is digital nutrition mixtures 1. And so there's 6 pages, as I mentioned, and each one has a purpose, and that's how they organize it in the digital nutrition mixtures. And so the first one is really geared towards body. So depending on which part of the body or which organ system you're functioning will determine which nutrients are included. So I tried to fit all of the nutrients on here, but I will include in the membership content a PDF that I have that lists all of these in much bigger font. So don't be stressed to read all of these, but I just wanted to include them. So if somebody was curious about what was included in them, it's a quick quick overview. In digital nutrition mixtures 2, this is geared towards more of metabolism. So if you're trying to alkalize your body, alkaline powder is really amazing. The ones that I love are the trace elements, the vitamin B complex. So these are the ones that we might take a vitamin or a supplement for, and kind of helping our body get the frequencies of these supplements rather than take them. I've taken a multivitamin for years and I never really felt any difference. So I love that I can just use the frequencies instead.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it is. In the third mixtures, these are really geared more towards detoxification, hormone support, and then the immune system. So if anybody's had a couple of drinks and they want to help their body, then the alcohol intake one is a good one to use. These are ones that I use quite often around my cycle to just kind of help minimize any symptoms that I might be having. Or if I feel like my immune system is weakened, I will run one of the digital nutrition mixtures. In addition to, the other immune supporting ones, Bioenergetic Harmony has a defense one that I really like, and Bioenergetic Boost, but I will complement it with one from the digital nutrition. So I really aim to run a digital nutrition mixture most days. And it depends on if I'm feeling like I need the support really at the physical level, I will use the wrist straps and the wires, but otherwise I use the coil most of the time for these. So the fourth one is really around vitality, sports, and then support, which would be more of the multivitamins in the women's, the children, the men's. Psyche is one of my favorites. It's got a lot of the B vitamins, and then also it's got threonine, serotonin, it's got glutamine, 5-HTP. These are the kind of the feel-good hormones, or neurotransmitters rather. So that's the really one that I really love. Number 5 is geared more towards sport as well, musculoskeletal support, and then cardiovascular support. So these ones will be nutrients that support, our blood and our muscles, regeneration. There's a lot in here as well. So again, this is just a quick overview of what's included in each of these mixtures. Number 6 is probably my favorite. These are the ones that I run a lot, and specifically passion, joy of life, I call it recreation because I feel like it's like recreating my cells, my neurotransmitters, and really supporting the body. So there's the rest is really amazing one as well. Exhaustion is another really good one. So these are really good if you're kind of helping support your mood and your mental well-being, and also kind of your if you're feeling like really exhausted or tired, adrenal fatigue, any kind of fatigue that way, then number 6 is a really good one. Okay, so these are just infographics. So in case somebody doesn't watch the replay, they can kind of see how to do this really quick. I am going to do, I'll do a live demonstration as well after this, and then we can go through it step by step. So I do this under the resonance analysis, and then there's one called DigiNut mixture. So I actually just had a client call this morning, and I told her about this, and she's like, I had no idea that was there, because DigiNut doesn't tell us really anything. So I think that's why it gets bypassed a lot in the analysis as well. So you click on digital nutrition mixtures, and then it basically come up with your top 5. Now, how I do it, my personal process is once a week, I'll do the digital nutrition mixtures analysis, and then the top 5 that come up, I'll vibe it. Usually I vibe it from, depending on time frame, I'll vibe it for 26 minutes. If I feel like I need more support, I'll do longer. I'll do the 58-minute one. Now, I think this comes, this might change a little bit in the new Blue Dot app, because I heard that the transmission times are a little bit different. So, and in our last call, in our last group call, we had talked about determining length of time with vibration. And so, you know, if you're familiar with muscle testing, or you have a pendulum, or, you know, even just trusting your tuition about really kind of sensing, do you need a lot of support? Vibe it for longer. You cannot overdo it with this. Your cells in your body are like little antennae, and so they're pointing outward, ready to receive. And once, if you ran it for 8 hours, at some point your energetic field becomes saturated, and the antennae is like almost like they just turn off, and so your body stops receiving. So you really can't overdo it with the vibration, and so I would say trust your intuition on what feels like the appropriate length of time for vibration. But I do a minimum. Like if I'm just going to do it, I would do it for a minimum of 12 minutes personally, because I feel like there are so many different nutrients in, and especially if you're doing 5 programs, there's a lot in there. And so you want to give your body the time to be able to receive it. So that's why I tend to do a little bit of longer transmission times with the nutrition mixtures. And then when oh yeah, Fiona?
Is it okay if I ask a question?
Yes,
now?
please.
Just a quick question. So do you actually vibe them just from the blue app, or are you going back into the pink and you're running it on the coil?
So this was my next point. It's a perfect segue.
Right.
No, you're fine. So I vibe it at that time when I do the analysis. And then what I do is I'll write down which 5 came up, or I go back and I look in the Blue Dot app. I will aim to vibrate those 5, or not vibrate. I aim to run those 5 programs as microcurrents during the week. So like I just try to run one every single day out of that 5. So I'm not doing all of the 5 every single day. It's just that like out of 7 days of those week, 5 of those will be the top 5 that came up. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
And
so
I don't necessarily follow the order. I just kind of like try to do them. I just pick intuitively maybe what my body needs.
Okay, super, thank you.
And so if you don't have the digital nutrition mixtures in the Pink Dot app, my suggestion is to just vibe throughout the week. So you don't have to do a new analysis every time. You just run the same one that you did. So you say you do it on a Monday, and you do the analysis, whatever comes up there. Then maybe a couple of times throughout the week, you go back, you find that same analysis using that home button in the bottom left. You can find your digital nutrition mixture analysis that you had done on that first day, and then you can vibe it throughout the week. And so it's interesting when you use this over a long period of time and you do it in this way, and I've talked about this with other programs, but you'll see certain ones come up regularly over the couple of weeks, because your body is really needing those nutrients. And as you work with it consistently, you'll stop seeing those ones as often. It's almost like your body starts getting the nutrients it needs. And so then it moves on to the next set of frequencies that it needs. So, if you're feeling really lethargic, or you're in some form of like a chronic fatigue or chronic, say, adrenal burnout or something, you'll see kidney ones come up a lot. You'll see exhaustion, you'll see fatigue, and it might come up for weeks, right? Because your body really needs it. And it can take time for your body to come back into balance. And so by consistently giving it those nutrients, you can see you have like the ability. So like I was saying with the supplements, if you take a supplement, the only real way to know is to do blood tests. It's really interesting to use the digital nutrition analysis, because you can almost do like that form of testing yourself without having to draw blood. Now, of course, this hasn't been tested. This is kind of just my theory, but having worked with this for a while, I do see, like, when my body is in a certain state, I will see programs come up, and they'll come up for weeks and weeks, and I'll just keep running them, imbibing them, and doing the microcurrent programs, and then they stop coming up, and then another set will come up. And so it can be really informative in terms of our physical and our mental needs, because a lot of these have like fatty acids and have neurotransmitters in them as well. You will see a shift, not just physiologically, but you'll see a shift in your mental well-being as well, especially if you vibe ones from that number 6 that I was saying. So if you're feeling depleted, or you feel like you are nutritionally deficient, which I would say nowadays many of us are, and that really just comes down to, even if you're buying organic food, a lot of our soil is depleted. Our water isn't necessarily clean. A lot of our fruits and vegetables are sprayed with chemicals. So that impacts our gut health, but it also impacts the nutrient profile of those foods. So our fruits and vegetables don't have the same level of nutrients that they previously had. And so that's why using the digital nutrition is kind of a really cool, supportive way of getting these nutrients. So my suggestion is, if you do feel like you are in that, if you have a chronic condition that you've been dealing with for a while, then using, in addition to the vitals or the digital nutrition, doing an analysis and vibrating vital substances. So the vital substances all the way at the bottom of the list when you select the program that you want. And these ones are where the digital nutrition is like clusters of nutrients. The vital substance is just one. So you'll be like B12 or vitamin E or an amino acid. And so that one can give you a lot of insight as well. And so that one you can't run individually. They used to be able to. A couple of years ago, they had in the digital nutrition, they had all individual, and then they put them into vital substances. So these ones you can only vibrate. So this is available to everybody that has the Blue Dot app. And then some other program suggestions that I had made was Power of 3, which is really supporting our digestive fortitude. These are the digital Ayurvedic frequencies. Schussler salts, which are tissue minerals. This is how our cells communicate with each other and send signals. And so this is really important for cellular health. The Schussler salts also gives you insight of what's happening for you energetically and emotionally. And then, of course, the Gold Cycle and Deep Cycle, which is really helping support our cellular health and our cellular well-being. Cheryl?
Also in the new Mag Healy, in the water program, there is a nutritional transport.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and it's come up almost every day for me.
Okay.
Yep.
So could be a good pair with this.
Right.
That's awesome. Okay, and then lastly, you can create your own digital nutrition stuff as well. And so I just went through a quick slide, and we can do this in the analysis as well. But basically, how I do it is I do it through an aura analysis. And so now this is, say you have your own supplements where that's not included in the digital nutrition. So for me, for instance, I love using, like, the only supplement that I will actually use will be like a medicinal mushroom. So like reishi, chaga, lion's mane, turkey tail. We don't have these frequencies in the Healy, but that doesn't mean that you can't capture the frequency. And so that's what we're using the aura analysis to capture the frequency. And now you can do this with anything. You can do it with crystals. You can do it with any kind of medicine or remedy or anything that you have that you want to capture the energy of and then vibrate it. So I'm just saying you could do this with, say, there's a nutrient or there's a supplement product, natural remedy that you use, you can also capture the energy of it and then vibe it as well, in addition to taking it. And so it's similar to eating our food, getting the nutrients, and then using the digital nutrition, which is the frequencies of that too. So you're starting to use your own remedies in the same way. And so I like to do this in the aura analysis. So basically you just click on the aura analysis, you do the analysis, you in the top hand corner, there's those 3 buttons, you click on that. That will take you to the chakras that you see on the right. And then you deselect all of them, or you have to keep one, but you can just take off all the rest. Now, how I do it too is based on the supplement or the product that I'm capturing, wherever I want that product to work most is the chakra that I will pick that's associated with that. Now that's just my way, right? And so say like mushrooms, I will pick like the heart chakra. But if you're doing something like, say you had, I don't know, what do I want to use this as an example? Another thing is like, I'll do this for my microdosing. So I'll pick crown chakra or third eye, right? Because it's like, I'm almost telling my body or my information field where I want that supplement to work. So it's almost like you're setting the intention. So you can just pick any chakra. It doesn't really matter. That's just, I'm taking it one step further. And then you start the analysis. And then what you do is you basically delete all the entries because they're not needed, because you're going to add your own. And so you click on add manually, and then this is where you enter your information. I think I have one more. So in here, you put in your present state. So actually on this one, this is where you can enter the information. So in the background information at the bottom, that's where you can put the product. You can even put like, I'll say all of the things that product is really good for. And then you can put in your present state. So maybe your present state health, where you are. And then in the desired state, you put the desired outcome. So that you're using mushrooms, you want it to improve your immunity, or you want it to use it for an adaptogenic purpose, then that's where you put that in. And then you go down to the bottom, the relevance will be at 100%. The intensity starts at 0. So you want to crank it up to 10 over here. Or if you're really sensitive, maybe you want to put it at 8, but basically you just turn up the intensity. And then down at the bottom where it says add symbol, this is where you want to click on that. I don't know if I didn't put anything after that, but under the add symbol, this is where you can take a photo of the product that you have. You can record the vibration of the product. So you just put the Healy on or near the product and you record the vibration. You can speak into it and say what your desired outcome is. It's really kind of open to however you want to use this. You can put any symbols or other medicines. You can combine things. Like this is how you just start to create, in a way, your own digital nutrition mixture.
So, Andrew, a quick question there. Do you put anything in for the potency, like on a physical level, because it's going into the physical part of the body, or?
You can. I mean, there's a lot of
Would be.
selections there, right? So depending on whether you want to use it for physical, that would be D, right? If you're working more in the mental or spiritual realm, you could put LM. I kind of leave that open because I like my products to just like work on all levels. And I feel like the Healy will determine what I need the most. So I know Chad hones in a lot more than I do with the potency, but I usually leave it open because that's my preference. I'm working at all levels. So
yeah. Thank you.
And we are going to do a masterclass on potency, on homeopathic potencies next month. So we'll dive into that more. Rita?
Sorry, I was muted. Is there a training that you've already done on how to use the Aura module to do things like this?
Yes. It's in the membership area. There's a folder called All Things Frequency. And that's where we have we have training on the coaching, on the Aura. So it dives deep into that as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, awesome. Does anybody have any questions? Stacy? You'll just have to unmute yourself. Let me check. Stacy, did you want to ask your question or comment? Not sure. You can just talk whenever you just have to unmute yourself. So I'm curious to hear if anybody else uses their digital nutrition in a different way, or if you use it at all. I'm always curious. Being so passionate about nutrition, yeah, just I've dove deep with this.
I use it every day, but not the way you're using it. I'm excited to do some, do it different. I mean, I do a reading every day, know what my top 5 are,
Mm-hmm.
and run them with the coil. But this is great. Thank you.
It just really hones in a little bit more rather than doing constant analyses. Of course, our body changes every single day, but this just kind of really allows us to understand what's happening for us, especially when you do it week over week over week, right? You start to see, you'll start to see the patterns in terms of what your body needs. So it can be really informative. Izzy?
Yeah, I was just gonna say I was so excited I was able to join when I did, and then I saw the email this morning because I did upgrade to professional in December, but I have never used this program because I'm like, well, I don't know. Plus, right now I'm doing your Power of 3 protocol.
Okay.
Fact, but I'm doing that. And I was doing natural balance, but I was just so excited that you were doing this today. And I called Connie and said, hey, did you see they're doing digital, Newt, or what is it? DigiNewt.
DigiNet,
So
yeah.
thank you. Yeah, so I'm
Awesome.
really excited. Thank you so much.
Also, I think Rachel, who's in our team, reached out and asked if I would do a masterclass at the end of this month. So this would probably be a good one to do for our team as well, our Healy team. Dr. K.
Hopefully my internet is strong again today, so we will get through with this. Andrea, this is amazing. I am so thrilled. Thank you so much for putting all of this together. This is just amazing. I have done the DigiNut programs before and just kind of run them in the Blue app. I loved when you suggested to take each one individually and run it on a day, do a scan once a week and then run it for the day and do that in the Pink app. And I feel like, it's hard to tell, that I can't, there's not evidence that I feel better, but boy, I think I feel better, and that's good enough, because anything that's up here helps down here, and we'll take it at all, and take all of it any way we can get it. And I'm really excited to start taking even like my own supplements and stuff that I've been doing and take their frequencies and then put them in so that I can really get it on all levels, because I think that is just absolutely so important to be able to nourish our body, our emotions, our mind, and our souls all on one level, that when we're taking supplements, if they're not being absorbed properly because of digestive issues or anything else, that this way we are getting them into where it needs to be. And I'm so excited for this and making my own programs of this. And I'm going to be thrilled if I can stop taking some of the expensive supplements that I have been taking, because I've like you, I've supplemented since last century, back in 1986, like 100 years ago, the last 100 years. I've been supplementing since the mid 1980s, when I learned about how depleted our soil is and we're not really getting enough. It's like, you've got to supplement. So I cannot tell you how many tens of thousands of dollars I have spent. I would probably venture to say even hundreds of thousands at this point for all those decades that I've been supplementing. And most of the time, like you have said, I haven't even really felt a difference. It wasn't until just in the last decade that I've started taking supplements that I truly feel a difference taking. And I think now that I can actually use the Healy and have approach for the full body system, this is going to be amazing. And if you do a masterclass on this, I'm in. I'm there. And I'm sorry I missed the first part of today, but I will definitely rewatch it. But your information is so amazing, and seeing that each category, each of the 6 categories even has a specific heading or a topping that where it focuses in. Mind blown. You're amazing. I love you. Thank you for everything that you
Thank you.
share.
I love your enthusiasm and your gratitude always. So there were some comments. Oh yeah, that I wanted to say about this. Doesn't mean that like if you take supplements and you like taking supplements and you find that they really help you, then absolutely you can, of course, continue to take them. But this takes it to a next level, especially this last part, because you can capture the frequency or the energy of that medicine, and then you can also vibrate it when you take it orally. So that is like, it just takes it to that next sort of quantum level in terms of like, if you choose and you want to do supplementation. I'm not saying this is like an either or scenario. I just personally wasn't feeling a lot of positive benefits from taking the supplements and was spending a lot of money on things. And so once I started using this, it was like mind blowing in terms of what you can really do to enhance your health and well-being and really take it to the next level. So being able to capture the frequencies of supplements as well and then vibrate those just augments it even more. Stacy, we're still waiting for you. Your hand's up. Cheryl?
I just love it that you included the description of the program groups, because sometimes something will come up and I have no idea what it is. And so that's, yeah.
So in the membership area, I will attach the PDF and you'll be able to download it so that you can have it. I always have it open because especially if I'm doing an analysis long distance with somebody, what comes up for them, I mean, just the title, like reading it to them is not going to make any sense. So I pull up the PDF. We're doing the digital nutrition analysis. I say, these are the supplements that are in this particular program that's coming up for you. So we cover all the 5 that are in there, read off the nutrients so that they can really understand. And if they happen to have those supplements at home, they can take them, right?
Yes, exactly.
So
yeah.
the PDF will be there for you.
Okay, great.
Mary?
So I'm just trying to understand about vibrating it into like to scan it into the, like a vitamin into the Aura scan. So do you take a picture of it or do you write the name of the vitamin or herb or?
All of those things. So when you're adding them manually, right? So let me go back here. When you add it manually here, this is where you're going to put in all your information. So when you do the Aura analysis, you remove all the entries that come up for that particular chakra, and then you hit add manually. And then in the next one, this is where you can put in the background information. So this is where you would put the product name under background information. So you can put the product name, you can put what it does for you, all of the things that it's supposed to do. So you're kind of any relevant information that you feel you want to have in there about the product information. It's almost like when you're adding a new person to do an entry, like you want to have their photo, you want to have their name, you want to have their birthday, you want to have as much information as possible about that person because you're capturing their bioenergetic imprint. And so it's the same for the product, right? So you want to have the product name, you can put in the benefits, you can put the name of the company. I mean, you can put in as much information as you want. Okay. And then under this add symbol at the bottom where you hit the plus, that's where you can take a picture of the product. You can capture the vibration of the product, which you absolutely want to do. So that's just putting, you record the vibration like on the next page. Once you hit this, there's some different ones where you add the photo, you add the vibration. So you record the vibration of the product just by putting the Healy next to it. You can record as many vibrations as you want. So I record the vibration of the product. I record the vibration of me speaking about the product. Now you only have 4 seconds. You have to say it really quickly, but you can just say the product name, right? And you could say the benefits of it, what you want it to do for you. So that's like you're setting your intention of what you want that product and how you want it to impact you.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, except the part about you can vibrate the product.
So after, you mean once you've captured all this information?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So then what you do is you save that, you hit the little checkbox here.
Oh, no, I mean, vibrate the product. Like, do you put the product do you put the vitamin somewhere and vibrate it somehow?
Well, once you record the vibration in this section, then you've captured the energy of the product. So you don't actually need the product anymore, other than, of course, if you're going to take it. Because then what you do is once you hit the check mark here, you can vibrate that then. Like it'll say action, and then you can vibrate and you choose your transmission time.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so. I'm going to try it.
Okay, well, let's actually, how about I'm going to join and then we can just go through it really quickly. Would that be helpful?
Sure, if everybody else doesn't mind going through it.
Give me 1 second. I just have to join the
Sounds
call.
good.
Okay. We're doing good for time, so I just have to find my link. Give me 1 minute. I have to join from my phone so that I can join here. I'm just going to mute myself because otherwise I'm going to hear. Okay. Can everybody still hear me? Okay. All right. So how we start is we're going to do the aura. We're going to hit me. So you hit record aura. You attach your Healy. All right, and then you hit the top 3 at the corner here, these 3 buttons. Oh my gosh, my throat is low. So let's leave that one on. I unclick these, and then we're going to start analysis. And so it doesn't matter what comes up here. You're just going to delete all of these. I mean, you can read them if you really want to, but I'm just going to remove them. So, and then at the bottom, you hit actions, and then you're going to hit add manually. So this is, let's see. Hang on, I'm just going to go grab a supplement so that we can walk through this. 1 second. Okay, so I have this Fluorescence product. This is something that we've been using. Can everybody still hear me? Yeah, okay. So we've been using this product in our Quantum Shamanic Detox. We used it for our blood and lymph cleansing. We used it for, it's a herbal cleanse. So I'm going to put in here Fluorescence. And then I'm going to say present state. So you always want to kind of label this in the positive. Actually, let me go back here and we're going to say herbal cleanse. Okay, and so my present state is let's see, Chad always says I'm happy and grateful. He's really good with things like this. I'm happy and grateful for my healthy body. And I'm supporting, let's just say I'm supporting my digestive system. With cleansing. So, in that, and then in the desired state, I'm going to say, I feel, so you want it, even though it's like in the future, you want to say it as if it's in the present. So I feel a lighter, more vibrant, and energetic. If it was me and I wasn't doing this in the call, I would put more information, but we're just going to go through it so that just for a time. So I'm going to go down here. I'm going to turn the intensity up to 10. Now the potency, you can select, there's a whole bunch of homeopathic potencies that you can choose from. So I just let Healy decide what I really need. So if you leave it blank, then Healy kind of just scans all of them. If you're more familiar with potencies and you want to focus, if it's more of a physical focus or if it's more of a mental spiritual focus, depending on the product that you're entering, you can select those. And as I said, next month we're going to do more in-depth training on homeopathic frequencies. So this is where, Mary, this is where you add in the information that you want. So we're going to say add image. I'm going to take a photo. And so I'm going to put fluorescence here. All right. And then we're going to record the vibration. So you guys can't see this, but I'm going to basically just put the Healy right next to the product. And I hit record vibration. Now you want to be strong with your intention as well. So as you're doing this, you're kind of intending like, I want my Healy to capture the intention or the essence of this product. For some reason it disconnected, so I just have to connect. Sorry if you can hear my child in the background. I can feel like he's being loud. Okay, and so you can record the vibration of that, and then you're good to go. So in this case, there's no plus. Once you hit the X, it just takes you back to this. You hit that, and then your information is there. So at this point, you can vibrate it. So now every day when I go to take my product, I can also vibrate this at the same time. So not only am I getting the physical benefits, I'm also putting the vibration, the essence of this into my information field. What I also recommend is then also renaming this. So if you were going to capture multiple products, like you say you take a few supplements or you have different products that you want to use, you kind of want to rename it because otherwise it can be challenging to like find it. So you go over to the house, you go to your lists, and then here's mine. I'm going to rename it, and I'm going to name it Velour Essence. Save it. So now when I go back, there it is at the top.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Awesome.
So you don't have to have the actual vitamin or whatever it is that you're trying to vibrate. You don't actually have to have that and take it. You can just vibrate it.
I mean, there's no limit to what you want to do. I like to take it and vibrate it because I feel like I'm getting the benefits on all levels. But say you were traveling, for instance, and you don't want to take all your supplements with you. You could capture all the frequencies of them in advance and then like take them with you. I mean, not take the supplements, just vibrate the frequencies while you're out, right? While you're vibrating.
Yeah. Or if you couldn't afford it or something like that.
Yeah. Or maybe even like, I mean, all of this is kind of up for grabs in terms of, we don't know really the true impact. And so maybe you try your own experiment where you take just the supplement for a week and see how you feel. Then you take the supplement and vibrate and see how you feel. And then the third week you just vibrate. And you kind of see, and maybe you don't even need the supplement. Maybe once you capture the essence and have it there and it's captured in your Healy, and then you just vibrate it. I mean, it's really, we're in uncharted territory in terms of really what level we can take this to. Any questions? Comments? Jackie? No? Okay.
No comments.
Okay.
Just want to say that was brilliant, Andrea. I know how good it is, but just to see it again is just reiterating the magic of this.
I love it.
Because I haven't really used these consistently, and what I think is really helpful is that you've got the names, because otherwise it means nothing without with just the vitamins or the nutrients. The vital substances, actually, I find that I haven't used those for a while, but I was using them. And actually, when you look at the information, they've got loads of information about each of those, whether it's L-arginine or whatever those are, and it's really accurate. So I've forgotten to use those, haven't. So yeah, really, really good. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks. Izzy?
Well, yeah, my question was more in the pink dot of the digital nutrition, although thank you also for going through this again. I remember someone had done this, and it was probably you guys a long time ago, but I didn't have, I never did it. So in the pink dot, when you scan digital nutrition in the blue dot, and then you go over and run in the pink dot, is it adjusting for how many milligrams, how much of each of those substances in each group, according to what your body according to the feedback from your body? Is it adjusting the amount you're receiving?
I think your body will receive what it needs to receive, but frequencies work differently than, say, like how we measure it scientifically in terms of milligrams.
Okay.
Right? Like that energy would just be different in general. It's just available for the body. And so, we don't really know, I think, is the ultimate answer, but yeah.
That makes sense.
None of this has really ever been tested. So I would love to kind of really understand this deeper and see, because this could be really revolutionary in terms of, you think about chronic health conditions, what this can do for people. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay.
Hi, everyone. Sorry I was late. I was running frequencies on a woman who had an implant yesterday and a wrist thing. So I was doing that. But I got to tell you, my hip is all better.
Good.
Yep.
Using the digital nutrition can be supportive for you too.
It's been coming up, and it came up for her today too. So that was interesting. Yeah.
Here we go. It was already in your field.
Oh, and last night I did the quantum connection thing, and it was on poaching, and it's so similar to this, but it's taken me a while to get to the point where I can be on this many calls, try to remember, but I feel like I feel like the Matrix, like all this stuff is it's amazing. Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'll just show you, I'll just show you quickly the document that was, I'm going to leave this call. There we go. The document that you'll get. And I had this from the beginning when I first got my Healy. So this is what the document looks like. So if you go up here, here's all the digital nutrition. You can see it gives you all the categories and everything, the purpose, what I call the purpose. And so it lists them. So whenever I'm doing, especially if I'm doing a distance session with somebody and this comes up, I have this up. If we're doing digital nutrition, especially, then, so that you can read off and they can see, or at least hear, what is getting. Because if you just tell them digital nutrition and skin or hair comes up for them, that doesn't really mean anything, right? But if they can see that these are the nutrients that are included, it takes it to that. It just allows us to dive deeper with this.
Is that in the All Things Frequency membership?
It is. I think it's already in there under All Things Frequency folder, but I'm going to create it. I'll attach it to today's call as well.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
I've actually got that, Andrea. I've had this for ages, actually, thinking about it. I think I've got it printed out. I don't know where the hell I've got it from.
Yeah.
But I do have it, yeah.
But even for us, when we think about how strong intention is in terms of really being able to receive the frequencies when we're doing this for ourselves, even when we're I'll do this with the microcurrents when I'm starting the program, read through the nutrients. So it's almost so that the intention is there. Like, I want to receive these nutrients and absorb them, integrate them into my field and into my body and into my cells so that they can really do what they are meant to be doing. Rita?
Are there digital nutritional programs in the watch? And if so, are they different?
You know, there are watch ones, and you'll see that in the drop-down list. When you do the Blue Dot app, they're called Watch DN, but they're different than this.
Right. But we could use those the same way.
Similarly, yes.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for that reminder. I have a watch, but it got wet and doesn't work anymore, and I need to send it back. So, Izzy?
Two quick, sort of unrelated questions. Is there an option? I have mosquito bites that, of course, I can't stop scratching right on my wrist where the wristband goes, and it burns when I'm running a program. Is there an alternative to putting the wristband on my wrist?
I mean, you could put them higher up on your arm, like maybe below the elbow, or you could put them on your ankles.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you. And now, the other question, you may not know this. I had heard a long time ago that they were going to be revamping the watch. Have you heard anything? Because I'd like to get one, but I know that there had been some problems before. I had a couple of people return them.
Yeah, I didn't love the watch, to be honest. I haven't heard that, though. Has anybody else heard that? No, I haven't heard them talk about the watch for a while.
I've heard somebody talk about a new release.
Yeah, hopefully better.
Okay,
mine
thank you.
literally got wet one time and then didn't work anymore. So that was that.
I heard that they were, I mean, I don't know, Jamie in Australia said ages ago, since before Christmas, they were going to bring a new loader out with different colour straps and things. I don't know how true that was.
Okay, thanks. Oh, wait, one last question. I finally got my Mag Healy, 2 weeks ago. I was able to charge it one time, and now it won't charge. The light on the charger flashes constantly and it never charges. And I've tried my iPad, my charger, or the Cube, my iPad Cube, the iPhone Cube. I bought a different one last night and it doesn't work. I've tried outlets at the office and outlets here. So is there a special, what do you use, for the Cube part to plug your cord into?
I mean, that sounds more like a product issue than like a charging issue. Have you reached out to customer support?
Well, that's what I thought. And I asked on Tech Tip Tuesday last night, and they were like, well, it's all about the Cube or the adapter. So I went and bought 2 different ones and it still didn't work. So I guess I'll do a support ticket.
I can add into this because I'm on Mag Healy number 2 because exactly the same problem. And I sent it back and the new one came with exactly the same problem. And what we have established is if your power goes, I don't know, if the power on the Mag Healy drops below 30, then if you're using the cable that they supplied in the cradle, it isn't giving it enough power to start charging it. So what I've done is I've bought, if you've got the new USB-C, and if you've got the new iPads, they've got the new USB-C port. If you use an iPad one or any one socket, it's got to be a USB 3 as well because the USB 2 doesn't work.
You mean you like USB-C, the universal adapter?
Yeah. So I'm just quickly going to show you because I've put a ticket into it and they keep on coming back with me saying you know, what's going on and stuff like that. And I've said, please, can somebody just jump on a Zoom call so that I can get this rectified, because otherwise we're just going to go around in circles. So this, I don't know if, let me see if I can, my finger is covering. Let me just show you what I've got. So this is the socket that comes with your iPad. Okay. And at the end, it's got a USB-C, where am I? There. Okay. Yep. And you just plug that straight into your cradle and it charges.
Okay.
So you just basically get rid of the cable that they've given you and basically get something. I can send you if you want to. It's a 20 watt as well.
Well, we have different wattage in North America, though.
Yeah.
Okay. But all I can suggest is you basically, the supplied ones don't work for me on both of them. So
thank you.
No worries.
Izzy, what I have is an Anchor cube for it's got an IQ up here with 3 different slots.
Okay.
That's what I plug it in. It's just basically an extension cord that's got different outlets in it, surge suppressor. And with the IQ technology, I find that's very valuable because it will only, oops, I think I lost everybody.
No, we hear you.
Okay. I've lost y'all. Can you see me?
Yeah,
we see you. Yeah.
Okay, great. That's real interesting. I can't see anything on here. My screen just went blank.
Uh-oh.
Oh, now we lost her.
Oh, bummer.
So maybe try a different cord. I think the summary is maybe try a different cord than what they supplied with.
Okay.
I would definitely submit a ticket and see what they tell you, and even just to have it on record, right?
And since this is my first official call as a member, was that inappropriate for me to ask about?
No, not at all.
Related to the call.
Not at all. This is always open forum, group effort, community calls. I appreciate it. And we all learn from this, right? Because as you see, 3 other people had issues with it. So this is actually
be blackballed from
no, of course not. We're happy that you're here. And Chad, next week, Chad is giving a masterclass on Mag Healy next Friday.
Oh, awesome.
Awesome. So, and Gene Key's study group starts next week. We got a lot of good things next week, actually. So we'll be sending out some emails. Awesome. Any final questions or comments? Otherwise, I'll upload this info under the All Things Frequency folder. So when you're on the membership area, there's the All Things Frequency. I think it's the top right. And then under there, that's where you find these replays specifically to Healy trainings. All right. Have a beautiful day, everyone. Evening, wherever you're at. And any questions, please reach out.
Thank you.
Where's the best place? Sorry, I'm just choking. Where is the best place to ask questions? Is it actually in the Facebook group, or excuse me, or do you have a platform? Is it part of the platform in the membership to ask questions? Because I'm not sure.
It is. I think there is a place there. I will look into it, see if we can have that, because it would be good to have a question form. I know that we definitely have that capability on our website, or like the membership area homepage. So I'll have a look at that and get that set up. But otherwise, sending a message to me or Chad, or asking on the All Things Frequency Facebook page too, especially if it's healing.
I'm sorry.
No, we don't have a Telegram group set up, though. We could set one up.
I was going to ask the same thing.
Okay, yeah, I'll set one up. Let me take notes. I'm flying tonight, so I have a couple of hours at the airport. I can work on things like this.
This has been wonderful. I'm sorry it took me so long to join. I had to get that Mag Healy first, and now it's not working.
Yeah. Oh, that's kind of frustrating. Okay,
Izzy, thanks for letting me know about this.
Frida, what brand is your thingy you were showing us?
It's an Anker, Anker,
Okay.
and make sure it has the IQ technology, because what that does is it only will allow the device to take as much current as it needs. It doesn't overcharge it.
Oh, interesting. Okay, AM. I'm writing that down. Thank
Yeah,
you.
they have them all over Amazon, and it was only about $20, maybe 24, and you can get different sizes and configurations, but as long as they have the IQ slots for the USB,
Okay.
it should work fine.
Okay.
And congrats on the Mac.
Thank you.
If you have
Well,
any
I thought it
questions,
was
get in touch, because I've really used mine a lot.
okay. Yeah, I
My-
thought it was because I'm in a horse trailer. Oh, do what?
Nothing. I just said mine's supposed to be coming. I'm like, oh,
Oh, yay.
Yay!
Yeah, I thought it was because I'm in a horse trailer, and I'm plugged into an outdoor extension cord into the barn, and then I had my power surger protector. So then so I was trying all these different outlets here, and then I took it to the office and put it directly into the wall, and I've tried everything except for that. So I'll go try, I'll go try those two things.
That probably would work best plugged into the wall in the office,
Right.
because the other,
But it didn't work there.
right?
Which leads me to believe it could be a product issue,
Yep.
not a
Yeah.
cord issue. Do you know anybody close by, Izzy, that's Healy related or has one? Or
No, I
think-
sold.
you live rurally, right?
I'm out in the boonies, and I did sell to Healy's locally, but no one else. Actually, Bev Garrettson, and I reached out to her, and it looks like she's just using